Alrighty, we are back and we are doing another Sims build. This one is the same family, or like the extension, or the rest of the family of the one that I did for last week. So last week I built a house, sort of like mid-century inspired, kind of trailer-ish house, not entirely trailer, but mid-century styled home, for a divorced father and his son who visits him on the weekends. And so this is the apartment for the mother and son where they stay during the week. So this is in Evergreen Harbor. It's the first thing that I've built in Evergreen Harbor. First of all, I'm really excited that we have new apartments and that they're like square and normal and that they don't have any lot traits, so you can add your own lot traits, which is really exciting. But yeah, so the mother for this family, she's very artsy, but her main job isn't art related, and so she kind of like has a home studio, which you'll see later, but she really is into green. So this is a very green apartment. You can't really tell yet because I had a lot of trouble with the kitchen figuring out how I wanted it to be. So I have these Parenthood counters at first, but then eventually I just kind of scrap everything and start over, and go with a bit more of a modern kitchen than before. And I really am glad that I use these. I think these come with vampire stuff pack. These countertops, because I don't really ever use them, and it's just definitely not in this like dark green, like forest green color, but it's really pretty, and I'm glad that I was able to find a kitchen to use them in. I think it works well in this scale, but I think it would be even better on like a bigger scale, and then to have like a really nice like large dining table in the center. Eventually I will do that. I will make a bigger kitchen and have these countertops there as well. But yeah, I went for kind of more modern of a vibe in this house. I wanted there to be kind of a stark contrast between this place of living and the house that I did last week for where the father lives, because I just felt like, yeah, they should feel like two very different worlds, and I mean they are two very different Sims worlds. So yeah, I think probably in general for Oasis Springs, which is where I built the house last week, I'm gonna go for a mid-century modern and maybe Art Deco also inspired aesthetic, whereas for Evergreen Harbor I'll probably try to go a little bit more modern. I'm really not great at modern builds, but we'll work on it. We'll try it out. I don't know, there's just something cold that I find about modern builds. Like, they don't feel as cozy. So I think I tried with this one to keep it pretty cozy. This has some like bohemian elements to it as well. It's not fully modern. Like, even this kitchen, you can tell like the cabinets aren't modern, but there are some modern elements. So it's like, I don't know. I think I can do okay with like adding modern elements to builds, but I don't know if I can do like a full modern situation without feeling like it's too sterile. But we'll see. But yeah, the kitchen, I'm really, really pleased with how this kitchen turned out, and I'm glad that I, kind of fiddled around with it a lot and then scrapped what I had fiddled around with and stuck with it, because I think it's really cute. I kind of wish it was a bit bigger so that I could fit some more stuff in there, but I think it works out to have that little space. Oh yeah, I was trying to get a plant on top of this fridge, but it was not happening. Mostly because the lighting for plants is really weird when you have another object in the same space. So even though you're putting it on top of something, it still counts there being another object in that square. So it doesn't know how to like shade plants when you do that for some reason. So I don't know. It seems okay when you add it to like a table, like that plant there, but if you put it high up, it just doesn't know what to do. Anyways, I built this in sort of more like 4 segments. So the first, my first attempt was probably on starting to build was probably on Tuesday, and I was at the same time calling and on hold with my movers. So my job is in Virginia, and I had lived in Virginia until coronavirus, so I still was paying for an apartment in Virginia until just 2 days ago, actually. So, I had arranged to get all my stuff moved to, like, a storage place, but then, like, Tuesday, which was, like, the 27th or something, or the 28th, we learned that I needed to be there in person, which was not something that had previously been revealed to me. So, I mean, the whole point of hiring movers was that I wasn't going to be there in person because I'm in Massachusetts. But anyways, my mother and I very quickly just drove down on Wednesday evening, or Wednesday, like, midday, and then drove back up Thursday after they moved everything on Thursday, and got in at like 1 a.m. on Friday. So that was fun. It was great fun. No, it was actually pretty good. My mom is a great road trip partner, so we listened to lots of musics, that's definitely a word that's singular and plural. And we listened to a lot of music, and alternated driving, and it was really not that bad. So we did like 2 hours on, 2 hours off, and then on Thursday on the drive back, when it started getting later, like around 8 or so, my mom, usually her bedtime is like 7:30 or 8. She's a morning person, so and I'm a night person, so I was like, mentally I was like, if you get me to 10 p.m. I can do the last 3 hours. Like, I can do it. I will do it. I don't know, I just didn't want to stop. I felt like I just wanted it to end, you know? Like, I was already there. I didn't want to, like, have to wake up and drive more. It just was demoralizing to me. So I pushed us to keep going. So I'm sorry, Mom. I know that you're not so much of a night person, so, but I appreciate you being a trooper. Yeah, oh, this lady, the mother, is both obsessed with green and plants, which is a good combination to be obsessed with. So there's a decent amount of plants in this apartment. Oddly, I didn't put too many plants in her bedroom, but that's because I'd made it into more of like a art studio, and like a bedroom is kind of an afterthought. Like, she's like, oh yeah, I guess I sleep here too. You can see I originally had like an ensuite, and then I got rid of it because I was like, no, she needs like a studio. So I got rid of the ensuite so that she could have space for her art. Yeah. I don't know if I love her bedroom so much. I feel like there's like a little bit too much green. You know, when you like go for like a theme and then it's like a little bit too much? I feel like I might have put a little bit too much green in her bedroom. I feel like I did a decent job in both the kitchen and like the main room of having it be like just the right amount of a color. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I had a lot of trouble figuring out the bed placement and everything, as you can see by my long pause here. I mostly cut out pauses because there were some that were like very, very long, but I didn't get all of them, but that's okay. You just get to hear me chat then, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know, man. My mother and I are quarantining since we're back now. For the next 2 weeks, we are gonna be quarantining in the basement. Eventually, I will do a build of my house, my parents' house. And I don't know if I'm gonna do a speed build of that, because I feel like it's so different to build real things in The Sims than it is to like just build something out of imagining. It's good now that we have terrain tools. I'll be able to do something similar, because the house is kind of like on a hill in a weird way. So the back, like the basement has windows going out on one direction because it's like in a hill. I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah, the backyard is like lower than the front yard, I guess, is the best way that I can describe it. So you can't really build it in The Sims without terrain tools, but now that we have terrain tools, we can definitely build it, or at least try to. I don't know. I know exactly where I would put it in The Sims if I were to build it, because we have sea view, so it would definitely go in Brindleton Bay. But yeah, I think maybe that's something that I would do like on stream, and then maybe just do like a tour or something on YouTube. I don't know. Oh, I'd stream sometimes on Twitch. I haven't, the last time that I streamed like Freddy Fish, and I haven't finished it. Or like, I did Freddy Fish 1 and 2, so I have all of the Freddy Fish games because they're all on Steam. And so I will stream Freddy Fish 3 and 4 and 5 at some point. 5 is it 5 that's the best? Whichever one is the Coral Cove Park one is amazing. 10 out of 10, would recommend. All the Freddy Fish games are just generally really great. It's interesting, even though they're really old, I feel like they hold up pretty well. Like, it's clear that they were made with a lot of love. The voice acting is actually like really good. Sometimes there are like things that are like, there's like a decent amount of singing sometimes that is not necessary for the game. Like, it just becomes a musical sometimes and you're like, okay, why though? But you know, other than that, it's a good time. It's a point and click game for youngins, but it's quite fun. It's quite nostalgic for me. So yeah, I like also that the main character is a little female fish, and it's not like a huge deal that she's a girl. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of movies and shows now tend to really draw attention to the fact that they're being, like, empowering females, when I think the best way to empower females is to just, like, not really draw attention to the fact that they're quote-unquote different, you know? Like, just don't other them, you know? Just, I don't know. That's just my hot take. Just have like, empowered people, you know? I don't know. Over here, we're working on, what are we working on? We're working on the son's room, and usually I like to have the whole build look cohesive, but I felt like he should have his own bedroom be decorated to his tastes. I feel like the mother would definitely encourage him to decorate his own bedroom to his taste. I played a little bit with that other side table on the left to make it different than the one on the right, because I like when we have side tables and objects in general that have clutter in them, sort of like how these side tables have books at the bottom, but then it's kind of annoying to have two of the exact same, like it looks weird to have the exact same books in the exact same spot for the two side tables, you know? So that's why I put some stuff on the other one. But yeah. His bedroom, he's like a musician, so his bedroom is very music-y, themed. I wanted to make sure that he had like a spot to sit and play where he didn't have like any armrests, because if you're playing guitar you don't really want armrests on a seat, so that's why I have a seat that doesn't have armrests. I wanted to add like a decent amount of items that were still kind of kiddish, because even though he is a teen, like, he's a teen, you know, so he still has like some kiddish interests, and you know, and at really any age you still kind of have some childhood interests that you hold on to, so yeah, I wanted to keep that for him. But we're getting to the end of the build now, so I hope that you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!